Welcome back to the Bourbon and BS podcast, everyone. This is episode something, 329. It's been 3 months. New garage. Not a new co-host. This is Kunal.
Hi.
Co-host is going to be a part of tonight. We're going to get some better lighting in here. Not bad. It's just not even. You know what I mean?
That's okay.
So
I don't mind being in a little more darkness.
Emotionally.
Yeah. Sure.
We've got some territory managers on. I believe that's what you guys all go by. Cigar reps. And I'm going to bring Nate on. Hi, Nate.
Hi, Steve.
Welcome back to the show.
I thought about that as soon as it popped up. It's like, oh, everyone's going to sit there and go, oh, I guess.
What happened to Nate?
Now we know why they haven't done a show in 3 month's.
No, Nate's still with us. Both alive and on the show. We're going to bring on tonight's going to be a little different. It's a welcome back show. We're also going to be focusing on one of our favorite events, but we've got Kunal from Aganorsa Leaf, as you can tell from that's a new one.
No, this is actually the same one that I had last year. I don't wear it all the time.
Okay. I thought it was blue.
Fabian's was blue.
That's
He went blue and white.
Blue and white. And you went Hawaiian?
East Asian.
East Asian. Depending on which way
If you go to East Asia and keep going east, you'll get to Hawaii.
That's what I said. Ryan Ponist here from Forged Cigars. Hola.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Well, I'm good. I don't know if the audience is. We'll see. I want to remind everyone here after we introduce everyone. I got Jeremy, who was just on recently. Just Monday, we did a little spotlight on McAuliffe, and then also, you wanted to get it on the McAuliffe ambassador page. So welcome, Jeremy.
Good to be here.
Good to have you. And last and least is Tyler Jones.
What up?
Oh, geez, that's why. That's it. That's the one.
These Zoomers, man. These Zoomers.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Tyler Jones from Espinosa Cigars. So
thank you for having me, everybody.
Oh, gosh. Share, like, comment, review, and subscribe in all the formats you enjoy listening to our show. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everyone. Tonight, like I said, it's going to be a little different format coming back on here. Hopefully we'll get some audience participation still, but we're going to do kind of a part two. We're not focusing on any bottle. We are in the garage here. We are enjoying the Watershed Uncut Unfiltered. This is batch number 3. One of the reasons we're doing this in the garage tonight is because we're going to be talking about a Smoking 10 event here tonight. Smoking 10 events of past and present, maybe future. But we're going to have Watershed. It looks like we're going to have them back in the tent this year. So if you guys are coming to the Smoking 10 event on March 16th, we would love to have you. And you will, I think they're going to be bringing their pre-made old-fashioned, which is always a big hit. So I don't know if you've had that.
I have not, but I know that Watershed has a lot of good products, and people's response to that particular option have always been pretty favorable. I've just not ever gotten around to having it for some reason, but I've enjoyed, like, this one is a very good bourbon. So I have no doubt that their pre-made old fashioned is excellent.
So
Steve's very familiar with the old fashioned.
So far, it's my favorite pre-made old fashioned. I think a lot of people will kind of look down on some of that stuff, but so far for me, it's my favorite. I've had some other ones, even local ones here, not local, like some of the national chains, if you will.
Right.
And it's just been, I think, the most spot on to it, kind of an old fashioned flavor that I like.
Sure.
Some of them are too much orange, too much,
too
whatever.
Sweet or too
syrupy.
Yeah.
Not really working.
There's one brand in particular I know on the shelf. I described it as orange Tic Tacs in a glass.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not what I want. That reminds me of like an old fashioned I get on the resort that's not good. If you go to like the club ones, typically they'll do a better job, but it's pretty much soda water, whiskey, and like orange, maybe orange crush, which I like. I like orange crush.
But if I want an old fashioned, I want an old fashioned. If I want orange crush, I'll get orange crush.
I will put whiskey in my orange crush like anyone else.
You're right, exactly. I'll put my Pappy 15.
Can't tell me what to do.
You can't tell me what to do. But yeah, so all these guys are going to be at the Smoking 10 event on March 16th. So we wanted to focus on Watershed because they will also be there. want to mention also for some of you that are coming, we will also be handing out a welcome drink to all the ticket holders in line. It'll be a beer because it's the morning.
You can't have a
start
morning
early.
beer if it's not in the morning.
Right. So that'll be
Well said.
coming from someone. What's that?
Well said.
Well said. But yeah, we're gonna have a welcome beer. I'm not gonna tell you guys necessarily where that's coming from, but they are gonna be donating all of those beers for you guys to enjoy first thing in the morning. They get the event kicked off right. But you guys have been to this event before, all of you, right?
Yes, I believe.
Right.
Jeremy, first time last year. Kunal, first time.
First time last year. Yeah.
Tyler, you've been there once or twice. Ryan,
Allegedly.
This event is Nate. You want to tell them a little bit about this?
The tent event. So you've got a giant tent at Easton Town Center. So they basically have to block off an entire parking lot to put up a tent. Over the years, the event's grown. You guys used to do up to 300 spots.
We
and
did.
then coming back after COVID, we were like, you know what? Let's do about 250. And 250, I think, is really the sweet spot because it's not as crowded. People still have room to move. There's plenty of tables and chairs, but you've got at least a dozen cigar vendors every single year. And so
Flat flame, but
customers come in, they get a little welcome bag that every year has some goodies in it, whether it be ashtrays, flasks, cigar cases, candles, sprays, whatever, cutters, lighters. They get that, and then they get a stack of tickets, which every vendor on it has every company logo. And basically, they just go around and get whatever cigar each company's passing out. So everyone walks away with at least a dozen cigars, and then you've got an insanely good deals on some samplers. Some of them are made by the manufacturer, some are made by Tinder Box staff, but absolutely ridiculous deals on some of those. And then you've got one of the best cigar raffles in the industry at the end of it, plus 2 meals made by
you get brunch. You get brunch and lunch. Those are going to be buffet style. Brunch is at 11 a.m. and lunch is around
brunch and lunch. Wouldn't brunch just be breakfast?
That's not what the flyer says.
It's at 11 o'clock.
You offended Tyler.
It's at 11 o'clock.
Big brunch guy. Tyler's a big brunch guy. You upset him.
Still, I think the best thing about the lunch buffet over the years has always been the lamb skewer, those little lamb lollipops, where it's just that chunk of meat right there on the rib.
Yeah.
And obviously over the years those have gotten pricey. And I remember last year the kitchen manager at Fido, he's like, "Gosh, I don't want to do these things ever again. They're just so expensive." And then Eric Espinoza is up at the stage, and he's like, "These are the best freaking lamb I've ever had." You look over at the kitchen manager, he's like, "Well, shit, I guess we're doing lamb next year too."
Staple. Luckily, this year is not the most expensive item because on the brunch, Ryan, the brunch, eggs. So we're gonna have the delicacy of eggs.
I had a 3-egg omelet for breakfast today. It was only $12. I thought, wow, I'm making away like a bandit.
You are.
I don't think I could make that at home for $12.
Were there other ingredients, or
There was. It was Parisian style. So it was ham, mushroom, and Swiss at some place here that's got a couple locations. La Chatelaine.
Oh, I think you're fancy.
Yeah. Fancy 3-egg omelet.
You nailed the description there. It is a swag bag that you get at the door. You're going to get that welcome beer, which, again, love that you guys can start with that. Jesus, Tyler, keep leaving. Tell you what.
Not a fan of people dissing brunch. Not a fan of welcome beers.
I know. These younger guys, man, are just easily offended.
We've all met Tyler. We know Tyler's a fan of beers.
It's true.
Maybe he's not a fan of morning beer specifically.
I guarantee you he's a fan of morning beer.
He wants it to be a shower beer specifically.
Well,
maybe it's the swag bag. Maybe he doesn't like swag bags. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, let's get down to it. Tyler, why are you offended by everything we're saying? You keep jumping off here.
That's evidently it's my Wi-Fi here. So, shout out to Don Christos and their wonderful Wi-Fi.
I noticed you got rid of the headphones. Did you think the headphones were interfering with the Wi-Fi signal?
There might be some correlation. I'm not 100%
Okay.
sure.
So you're gonna blame the lounge, though. Still, you're gonna still blame the
The
lounge.
lounge that's letting you hang out there and do the podcast.
Sweet. Could be
No,
my
I love these
headphones,
guys.
but
These
fuck
guys are
this place.
Fuck the headphones. Get rid of them.
Real classy. Real classy. Yeah, so you're also going to get, it's going to be 14 cigars at least. You guys, so Ryan, I want to kind of focus on this. And this is kind of I don't want to say a big advertisement, but it is. I mean, we're coming up to it. We've had a lot of our Bourbon and BS community members come to this event. I know not everyone can. They're not all close, but we have people coming from all over. Ryan, this year you are going to be featuring not one, but two.
That's correct.
And you're going to have not one, but two guests.
That's correct. So we're bringing the party this year. So with me at the I shouldn't say at the Forge table. Forge is we're going to pull up two tables. So bringing a crowd pleasing fan favorite, we will have Bradley Rubin of said Alec Bradley fame. He will be there, I think, with a mustache. I think he's rocking a mustache right now, but he'll be there.
Everything I've seen on social media, that is the case. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll be there. We'll be featuring the Magic Toast, which is again another fan favorite. So probably going to be one of the more standout cigars as far as like body in the tent. So that's something that regardless of when you smoke it, you'll probably still taste it. Whether you smoke it for brunch or lunch, you'll definitely be able to get that flavor and that.
Can you move past the brunch thing?
I refuse. I refuse. I will talk about this not just in my first term, but my second term. I will continue to talk about
Jesus. Tyler frozen or sleeping. I can't tell if he's stonewalling.
It's a great image.
Well,
all right, let's move on from Ryan. Jesus, Tyler.
Can you remind me so Bradley, because we've had both Alec and Bradley at the tent event.
Right.
Bradley, was he the one that after the event got drunk at Steve's, or is he the one that was up on stage for his first ever multi-vendor event?
So this
what happened was
during culture. So actually both of them, the Tinder Box Easton was their first on the road multi-vendor event. Fun little Easter egg. I've had both of the kids out for their first time traveling outside of the safe state of Florida. So and it was both for the gauntlet that I have to run because of the green cigars that we do every year. And then it was Bradley's first trip out that went to Steve's garage and became intoxicated. And you know what?
Blanton's was cool, by the way.
We have a big showing where Bradley thanks Steve for his words of encouragement because Bradley said, I'd like to be the face of the company. And, you know, he sold it and they made him the face of the company at STG. So I guess technically all of his wildest dreams came true. So
all happens here.
Not there, the garage.
The old garage. Actually,
we should go to the old garage. And
that was
the old garage. That was the... Yeah.
That was two
that
garages
was on old
ago.
San Andreas place.
Track all your garages.
But the OG garage, original garage.
The original garage, yeah. But yeah, that was back when Blanton's was kind of cool.
Like that.
We drank a lot of Blanton's.
And that was back when Blanton's was $50.
The bonus guest that I don't know if he made it to any publication or if we adjusted that or whatever, but we will be having Justin Andrews. He will be coming out. That's going to be a really cool guest, I think. I know I just said Justin Andrews, and literally everyone out there was probably like, who in the hell is Justin Andrews? And that is astute. Justin's a guy with STG that's been there for a while, and he's one of the guys you don't necessarily see day to day, but if you're keeping up on, you know, industry news, particularly news with STG, anytime a cigar comes out, more often than not, you'll see Justin Andrews' name on there. And what he does is he works with all of our third-party contracting. So any cigar that we're making at a factory that isn't our own, Justin's involved in that. Just like any cigar that somebody else would like to be made at our factories, Justin's involved in that. So, the big cigars that we'll be featuring at the 10 event with Justin, we will have some Diesel there. So we'll see Diesel make an appearance back at Tinder Box. From what I understand, it's been a minute since they had it. So that'll be in the 5-packs that you'll be able to get. And we'll be featuring the Los Stados Deluxe Connecticut, which was a collaboration between Justin Andrews and Matt Booth. So yeah, that's going to be really cool.
Yeah, we've had Justin on the show a couple times.
We have.
Yes, that is true. Okay, so maybe people do know who he is.
Some people that watch the show, yeah, I think they would know who he is. I am with you though. I mean, a vast majority of people that
don't
aren't
watch
on that aren't on the manufacturing side of it. Yeah, most people don't watch the show. Thanks.
Most people are
glad we brought this back.
Most people are actually dead, but of the people that are alive, most of them don't watch the Bourbon and BS show.
Allegedly. Jeremy.
He's like, what have I got myself
something
into?
Different. Jeremy, we talked about the McAuliffe stuff on Monday, so some people I think caught that, and we talked about the Smoking 10 event as well. But to give a recap for those that did not listen to or see any of the clips thus far from Monday.
Did you make clips? Did that AI thing work?
Yeah, man.
Oh, sweet.
Thanks for following us on social media, by the way.
You're welcome. I missed that.
Tagged you and your company. It's fine.
I might have.
Your phone.
My bad.
Probably, yeah, you get a new phone.
Phone's not working.
Yeah, right.
No, we'll have Amanda McAuliffe there. So Al's daughter. So it'll be her first appearance at the 10 event during cold weather. So she's excited about that. So
it could be 40, it could be 60, it could be who knows.
As of right now, we're looking at
it is Ohio.
40s, so upper 40s will take it.
It's fine.
Is that what it says right now? Upper 40s?
Right now, as of right now, I think that's what the extended forecast is. It's like 47, 49, somewhere in that ballpark. If it shifts one day, then we could get 60.
Right now, 55.
Oh,
55 is good.
Yeah,
I'll take 55.
That. I'll check in about 5 minutes, see what it says.
Yeah.
Wait, you got to wait 20.
We're going to have Amanda, so that's exciting. We also have a special cigar that we're going to have there. Can't give much detail about it, but definitely excited for that cigar. That's the one we'll hand out to everyone who has a ticket. And then part of the deals is another cigar. It's an unnamed cigar we have not released yet. Tyler left again. So
I'm about to get to him too. I feel like his attention span. I mean,
yeah. So that unnamed cigar, the one we haven't released, will be in the 5-pack for sale at the sales table. So, two cigars that people haven't had yet. So it'll be good.
It's exciting stuff. I mean, yeah, the one you're handing out, which we cannot talk about in detail. I still have not smoked it, by the way.
You haven't?
I have not.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
Hey, there he is.
Perfect time.
But yeah, so the McAuliffe stuff is going to be exciting. A lot of secretive new stuff going on at the McAuliffe booth. Sure. And speaking of new, something none of you guys have smoked either is, I don't know if you can see that. I'm gonna pull a muscle. Yeah. Can anyone read that?
I can't see anything.
No.
I can tell you're holding a cigar, but that's about it.
This cigar says STE 2025.
Oh.
Smoking 10 event.
Got it. Nailed it. Nice, Nate. Good work. 2025 is the year.
Actually,
so this cigar is going to be available. This is something that the guys at Espinosa Cigars, so Eric and Hector, blended for the event. So we have just 1,000, actually 995.
994.
And dwindling.
Well, I guess you're smoking one of the.
Yeah, so 999 are in existence as of now.
Right. Sure.
And a half.
Gets more limited by the day.
by the
What?
smoke here.
Well, that's cool.
I think we lost Tyler again. He's just staring at us. We're talking about his company.
No, that's cool because
there he is.
6 years ago, the Smoking 10 event for 2019, that's when you, Steve, collaborated behind the owner of Tinder Box, Brian Joyce, behind his back to have the special size of the BS Silver made.
That's
that
right.
Rubido.
Yes.
And you had some 5-packs made, and it had that little cedar insert for Brian's 20th.
Yes.
And yeah, that I think that is still the best size of that blend.
I'm glad you like it. It went over very well. It's not for everyone. It was definitely a pepper bomb and firecracker.
It still surprises Eric and Hector to this day. If they were to smoke BS Silver in that Rubido size, yeah, they're still like, shit, I forget how spicy this cigar is.
So Tyler, I know we lost you there, but I was talking about the fact that we've got now 995 cigars available for sale in 5-packs at the
Naturally, that will happen.
What's that?
He said naturally that will happen.
Yes. But yeah, Tyler, what are you guys doing? Eric Espinosa himself will be there, obviously.
Yes, we will obviously have the man, the myth, the legend, Eric Espinosa with us at the event. And we got, what do we got? 601 Blue. Am I correct on that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, 601 Blue will be one of the main featuring cigars there. And then we also have this wonderful Smoking 10 event cigar. I think you definitely have more info on that cigar than I do, most likely.
Yeah, we'll release a little bit more closer to the event. I'm going to release the blend and everything like that. But it is on the fuller side. I mean, that's what I think
it's
a lot of
tasty.
Have you had it?
Save me a 5-pack.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. You did smoke it.
Yeah, I smoked at the shop last time. We were all there. There was like 8 of us that were going to be at the event, hanging out there, and I think you or Brian brought me one, and I smoked it. I absolutely loved it. So, what is it? A 5x55 like Robusto?
Yeah, I think it's definitely bigger than a 50. You think?
Yeah, bigger than 50.
So I don't know if it's a 55. I think 552.
I think I saw it on the invoice. That was a 55. So that's the only reason why it popped in my head.
But it's like a fat Robusto
Yes.
box press, which it's a nice smoke, nice construction. What's that?
This is a 54.
It's a 54. Yeah, pretty darn close. I think
And
this is a little bit.
Their box press shape is pretty similar to this, so probably 55.
So yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hopefully everyone else will enjoy it as well.
It is a banger. You're going to want to buy them. You're going to want to buy them all.
Save me a 5-pack.
And it's going to be an aggressive deal on all these as well. All of the 4 and 5 packs at the table. Brian Joyce, the owner of Tinder Box, and I were talking about it today, getting some of the prices locked down. And thanks to the manufacturers, you guys and the reps and working on helping it out where, it helps us, but then in turn goes right to the event, attendees. I mean, they're going to be taking advantage, hopefully, of the sales table. So there's some aggressive deals, great packs, including, like I said, the one I'm smoking right now. This is coming in just a straight 5-pack, and they are banded just with a kind of a prototype band, just because we want to see what everyone's feedback is on this. But yeah, STE 2025.
Steve, you got to make sure that Brian's not going to be at the shop Saturday, or if he is, he leaves by 5 o'clock.
We shall see, man. I can't tell him what to do. You know that.
I know.
Hopefully, we'll have everything squared away so we won't have to be there late. But all right, so now that we've gotten past some of the business, I'm going to put this on you guys. I know Jeremy, Kunal, you guys have only been there the one time. Ryan, you've been there many times.
Many times.
Tyler, been there many times. Nate.
On both sides, consumer and on manufacturer side.
That's right. And Nate has been there.
I've been there as staff and rep.
That's right. So, what is, put you on the spot here, if you had to think about it, what is your favorite memory of a Smoking 10 event, Tinder Box, Easton, Columbus, Ohio, that you have been a part of?
Gosh, Steve, so many. No, for a second, I was
enthusiasm like that.
Great used car salesman, just banging away like I'm on like HSN or something like that. So
the memories
there's
are good.
two. There's two major memories that always stand out to me. Number one was the first time I had Alec out there, and number two was the year of the infamous non-smoking tent event.
Okay.
And
Those are your
and
favorites?
yes,
Okay.
absolutely. And actually, like, the funny thing is, not to not to puff your chest up too much, but it was you that really made that event, in my opinion, really special.
Which
Because
one?
when all that stuff went down with
The non-smoking
fire
tent
marshals and all that
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
you
2018.
just had
that
such
one.
you just had a look of determination on your face the entire time. Like it was like watching like a telethon, and like you've been on stage for like what felt like 3 days, and you're just like, we will get to this goal today. Like you were just doing some of your finest work during that 10 event. And just watching you walk around and gain a confidence as the situation was, at the end of the day, it wasn't dire, it wasn't bleak, but it was just the fact that to put on an event with hundreds of people there and to have something happen that would be catastrophic, not in the sense of people getting hurt, but in the sense that people pay to have a good time.
Yes.
And this could affect their time. And they put their hard-earned money down on the table. Like I said, I'll just never forget watching you walk around with that microphone all day, and like you were just determined to make sure everybody had a great time, and it was awesome. And that's one of my favorite moments, hands down.
I appreciate that. Yeah, for those that don't know exactly what he's talking about, that was Smoking 10 event 8, I believe. And
yep, I think you're correct.
And we had sold out. Thing was just flowing at that point. We had VIPs in, we had general, and we sold out 300 tickets 3.5 weeks prior to the event, and really hit our stride. And all the while, the first 7 years doing it, we were always checking with the public health department to make sure that we were allowed to smoke in there. And Fido, our partners in the event, took care of all the permits and everything like that. Little did we know that in Columbus, there is a subcode of the code for a tent or membrane structure that you can't smoke in there. And so the fire marshal came through right as lunch was being served. Do you know about this?
Yep.
No, I do not.
Right as lunch was being served, and came in and said, "I'm shutting you guys down. You guys can't smoke in here." And we were just like, "What? Like, what are you
kind of the whole purpose of this?
Like, what are you talking about? Like, we've been doing this for years, and we got everything taken care of and all that stuff." He's like, "Yeah, you guys don't have a permit to smoke in here." And at that point, between Fido and Brian and myself, it was a scramble, and we got it done. And luckily, that was the best weather day that we've had for any of the 11 Smoking 10 events. It was 60 plus degrees and sunny.
Beautiful.
So
perfect.
Yeah, because we've had 60 and sunny, we've had 20 and windy.
So yeah, thank you, Ryan. That one, it was funny. I've told the story before where Brian was up front and was basically like, we just didn't know what to do. Monty and Scott and the guys at Fido were just like, what do we do? And the guy kept like disappearing. So I went to two of our customers that are coming again this year, Brad and Eric, who are firefighters at CFD. And they had just sat down with a plate of food for lunch. And I said, "Hey guys, come with me real quick." And they just like threw their forks down, like, "Yeah, what's up?" And I told them what's going on. And so they're like, "What does the guy look like?" And I explained it. And they're like, "Yeah, I know that guy. I just washed out pepper spray out of his eyes last night at downtown at a Patty's Day party." So they went and talked to them and kind of helped out a little bit, but we had to put out no cigar could be lit in the tent, and the guy had to walk back through. We were able to draw up the sides of the tent. Everyone went outside. We went through the raffle and everything like that. But I think one of my favorite parts of that, Ryan, was because you're right. I was walking around just like, and everyone, like Eric Goldhaber, who's been on the show, works at Tinder Box. He was like, "Hey, can I do?" I was like, "Not now, right?" And I was like, I can't talk." And he's like, okay. And we made the announcement because everyone was kind of starting to gather that there was something going on. And I remember I went to Missy, who was serving, and Kaysen was at the bar. And I said, I need you to meet me on the other side of the tent. So I was at the bar where it's at, and I kind of started coming around here. I said, I need you to meet me back right here with a Jameson. And I started doing the announcement about what was going on. And like she literally came like as I'm mid-speech, and she like walks just like this. And I held out my hand and like grabbed it, and I said, so I don't know about you, but I'm going to have another one. And like just cheers the whole tent. And a bunch of people were like, hell yeah, let's do it. It was just so much fun.
You like I said, you were pushing 110% performance on that one. And matter of fact, I think now that while you were talking about it, like a lot of these memories are coming back from that. I think even I was on the Bourbon and BS podcast the week after, and I think that was like somehow that was the topic of like overcoming like just a shit show, like something of that nature. In a more eloquent Bourbon and BS manner, of course, but yeah, that was just a wild experience. And like I said, for when you have hundreds of people that put their hard-earned money down and they're coming there and expecting to be entertained and they're expecting to take part in activities and stuff like that. I mean, not only could it have went from like a not fun time, but like, you know, I remember the air got pretty heavy in there for a minute with just like the sentiment of this is bullshit among the attendees. And
yeah,
you know, you were able to very quickly turn that around in everybody's mood and everything like that. And you know, it was memorable for many reasons.
Appreciate that. Sure. Yeah, that's definitely a good and not so good memory for me.
You rolled with the punches.
I will.
You thrived under pressure, Steven.
All those years of procrastinating. I tell you what, they say that's not good for you, but God damn it, you could just think on your feet and get it done. That's why I graduated with B's.
B's get degrees, man.
Tell you what. I'm happy to announce also that I will be your Firewatch monitor again this year for the 2025 Smoking 10 event. So any questions, or if you have any concerns of any fire hazards or anything like that, come see me.
I feel immediately safer.
Yes, you should.
I mean that.
Let's see, Tyler. How about you? You have a favorite Smoking 10 event?
Quickly.
Yeah, before we freeze you out again.
Right. Before.
I
now
do
I'm
want to
actually
put this.
connected. Now I'm actually really connected to the wonderful Wi-Fi here at Don Cristo's Cigar Room in Shelby Township.
Are we on like a neighbor's one, like a restaurant? What do we do?
No, it's actually theirs. I was like, I actually didn't know they actually had Wi-Fi. I just threw them under the bus immediately just because.
By the way, I want to show this. Hector says, "Look, it's Canal."
Hector.
Nothing for you. No comment.
Let's go,
Hector. If you're listening, I am. I don't know if you saw. I'm smoking the STE 2025. It's fantastic. So, all right, Tyler.
Shout out to Hector first of all.
Yeah, Ray Cheshire. Morning, Tyler.
The only thing
freezes.
That's the only thing he said was shout out to Hector. Mic drop. He's gone.
All right. Well, let's go while we get him back. Jeremy, you've been to one 10 event?
Yeah, I think my greatest memory is the one I was at was 60 degrees.
Yeah.
It was warm.
Yeah.
It was great. Oh yeah, last year was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
2 years ago,
that's the best.
2 years ago was pretty cold.
Yeah. Oh, I remember.
Because we had the bad thing about when it's cold is you'll have like the 2 or 3 fattest guys in the entire tent decide to go stand in front of all the heaters that are for the entire tent.
Throwing shade.
Yeah. So I've never even been able to go like as an attendee because it always falls on my wife's birthday.
Oh,
Priorities.
But now I'm working.
So work is more important. Yeah.
So the birthday is canceled.
Yes. Smooth.
Okay, rescheduled.
My anniversary. Our anniversary is on the
No.
15th, so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So the weather is your favorite memory?
Yeah, it was. I was thankful because the year before I remember how cold it was because I stopped up there and I had no desire to be in that tent. So
we get it.
But yeah, that I mean, I thought you guys did a a fantastic job, man. It was a great experience being the first one
Perfect.
all around.
Yeah, Hector's still listening. He snowed 2 years ago. That was the one that he went. Best time I ever had. He loves seeing that snow. Hector did.
Hector loves it. He's a he's a snowman at heart, even though he lives in Miami.
Mm-hmm. All right, Tyler, you want to try this again here? Favorite memory? We didn't hear
Yes,
anything.
before you lose me again. Maybe I exit out of a shit ton of apps and stuff, so maybe that was it. But favorite Smoking 10 event moment. Honestly, I really, shockingly, I really had a blast during the COVID one.
So
we
you're
ended up
talking
going
about
on the
20.
side patio of Fido.
We had to more or less cancel the event 5
Right.
days prior to said event.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, my
But that was
favorite
a
too.
blast. That was an absolute blast, just sitting there on the patio with everybody, making the best of the situation that was at hand. And, we still had a lot of laughs, had a lot of good drinks. My dad came down from the Cleveland area and stuff like that. Still got to hang out with him. Some of my future retailers, from Dayton came up for that one and stuff like that. So that was back when I was still a consumer. But
Yeah.
I remember we just made the best of the situation, and that was still actually that was a really good moment and stuff like that. We had a lot of fun with that. But of course, when I had Hector with me, we had a blast as well 2 years ago. Even though Eric wasn't able to make it, we still had a blast with Hector. You got to see snow, like we said earlier.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And then, honestly,
Really
the one
selling
last
this
year, last year when Eric and Rocky were up on the stage doing their thing, they were singing
Four
Three
Non-Blondes.
and all that shit.
Four Non-Blondes.
That was Four Non-Blondes.
That was a good one.
It's a bunch of blonde girls singing.
No, none of them are
or
blonde.
Four
That's
Non.
None of it. That's why it's called Four Non-Blondes.
Right. Correct.
What's
not
going on?
Yeah, that was an awesome moment. That was
was
awesome.
a
They
good
rocked
one.
the house, and everybody it was electric in that tent. When
That was like like everyone pulled out their phones and were like taping it like they were at a concert. Because I don't think they knew what they were watching and experiencing at that point. They wouldn't believe it.
I have to go analyze the film later. Like, what
Yeah.
what did my brain tell me was
Yeah.
happening? Do I remember
Yeah.
correctly? Oh, no, yeah, that happened.
That's gonna be a tough one to top this year. When I spoke with Eric Espinosa,
Start a mosh pit.
he's like, "Am I allowed to like sing and stuff again?" I was like, "You can do whatever you want, man. You can do whatever you want." So I don't know how you're gonna top it, but we won't have Rocky there to be the storyteller between the two of those. Those two guys have known each other, worked together for so long, on and off, and they have stories for days about each other. Because that whole thing, if you guys didn't pick up on that whole thing started because I think Eric was telling a story about Rocky
Yes.
in Nicaragua at a karaoke bar.
Yes.
And he was singing I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston, I think it was. Or Dolly Parton. And that's when DJ Puck started that song. And then it turned into Four Non-Blondes.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kunal, how about you? You have a favorite from your one that you went to?
The one and only one I've been to.
Yeah.
I was thrilled that the weather was great because I kept hearing all of the horror stories of the year prior. Fabian Ziegler was with me.
Yeah.
It's the first time I got to do something with him in that capacity, which was awesome. Honestly, the way that you guys set everything up, I haven't done nearly as many multi-vendor events as I'm sure a lot of other reps have that have been doing this a lot longer than I have been, but everything was very seamless, not just from my perspective, but it seemed like no one that was attending had to really navigate a cluster of any kind. You guys, they got their food when they wanted to get it. They got their cigars. They got their tables. Where the deals and the table and everything was set up made a lot of sense. People could get their packs and come back to us and then allow us to really interact and engage with those individuals that wanted to come by and talk to us at a little more depth to it. So it wasn't just us standing around like glorified posters handing out and then just standing around like, all right, we're just here for no reason. So honestly, just being able to see how everything was organized and set up, it was super easy on our side of things. It looked like you guys did everything to really allow a very seamless experience for everybody that was there. Was awesome. And so I kind of just got to be bit of a fly on the wall and just see it all kind of happen in front of me. Weather was good. Got to see great people from, consumer standpoint, all of us that work on this side of things, don't see each other all that often, and so when we do, it's just great to be able to catch up and say hey and how's it going, in a very friendly and engaging and lively environment. So honestly, just kind of the whole experience was really awesome to be a part of, and makes me even that much more excited to be a part of it again this year.
Well,
No, it's great.
I think to Kanal's point with that is a lot of consumers that come to the event, and even some of the reps that come to the event, I don't think they really realize the amount of work and effort that goes into pulling this event off. I mean, obviously it starts months in advance with getting all the permits and working with Fido next door, working with the reps to be able to lock it into their calendars. That way they don't try and double book or they're someplace else. But then with the staff, all the stuff that we have to get together, the samplers that we make ourselves, and for the sales table. I mean, I know Brian, the owner, he's usually there 2:30, 3 a.m. that day. Steve and Josh, they're usually there 4 or 5 in the morning. The rest of us are all there by 8 o'clock or so, and we're all there doing everything we can to behind the scenes to get everything set up. And I don't think people really realize like how much, because we even bring in people that no longer work at the Tinder Box, people that used to work there, to be able to pull this event off, whether it's checking people in at the door, helping out inside, or just helping out being a runner inside the tent. Like, there's a lot of moving parts that people don't realize. Like, oh man, this is great. Like everything went together so smooth. Like the reason it went together so smooth is we had a dozen people working their asses off to do it.
Yeah, we're fortunate. I mean, we have a staff of Brian's 6. The owner, obviously. I'm full-time, Josh is full-time, and then Nate and 3 other guys are part-time.
So 7 in total.
But we also have that day, we have Diego, Ron, Brandon, Kristen. The first 3, they worked part-time in the past, and since we've been doing this event, pretty much all of them every year are like, yeah, I'll help out.
Yeah.
We couldn't do it without them.
More hands make less work.
Or even Ryan Newman. Ryan Newman worked at Tinder Box for 6 years.
Ryan,
after he left.
Brian's family, like.
Yeah. Amy, Brian's wife, Amy, Kristen, my fiance, Yvonne, Josh's girlfriend, was there last year helping out. Brian's daughter Lizzie's going to be shooting the photography this year. Cool. Again. We're going to have Content Kyle, who's been on the show or helped out with the show before. He's going to be shooting photography as well. So, I mean, there's a lot of people that volunteer. They get compensated in different ways, most of them. And some of them do purely just volunteer, and it's been tremendous. So I appreciate, Nate, you saying that. But I think over the years, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's gotten easier, but we've kind of, we have the idea already kind of
you get in the
defined.
Groove. Yeah, you get in the groove and knock it all out.
And you guys brought up between the 2018 with the fire marshal and then COVID 2020. Nate, are you going to share those?
Sorry, I didn't think you guys could hear that if I took my oh, sorry. All right.
For the love of God, stop doing that.
My favorite.
No, I was going to say,
I
I'm
was
surprised.
just staring at Tyler because I wasn't sure if he was frozen again because he wasn't moving at all. So I'm looking for like context clues of like whatever that TV's doing in the background.
You can see
like,
it.
Is that moving? Like he was just froze, just staring with this pleasant smile on his face. And I'm like, is he gone again? Like what's it like?
like right now.
He's doing it again. If he's really frozen though right now because the TV's not doing anything. I think he's really frozen now. I think you willed that.
He's really frozen. That's just absolutely incredible.
I was just going to say, though, between
Manifested
2020 being shut down because of COVID, with 2 years prior to that, 2018, when we had the fire marshal and we had hit a stride where we were sold out, like I said, 3+ weeks in advance. And then the following year, we were trying to work with the fire department. So the year between those, 2019, we finally got word from the fire department. I think it was on February 12th that we could do the event. And it was a Friday night event, and there was already another event at Woodland here in the Central Ohio area that was already scheduled with reps at their event. And so we had to do a Friday night event, and we had reps coming. Started the event at 6, and we had some of the reps coming in at 8 o'clock to man their tables. So it was complete audible at that point. Then the following year, we were shut down for COVID. And then 21 happened, and they still weren't allowing mass gatherings. So the fact that this is actually happening again this year,
4th year since that time frame. Yeah,
it's unreal. So appreciate all you
honestly,
that 2022. Yeah, 2022 was like a reunion show because it was, I think, most reps and people from the industry that were attending. It was like the first like mass like kind of multi-vendor event. So everyone came in, just bells on, everyone's smiling. We had Ray, who listens to this show. He had worked his trip through the U.S. to come to the event.
Wow.
We had started the Bourbon and BS community page in 2019, in November, I think, of 2019, before all that shit went down. So we had guys coming in from Philly, like Bobby Hirschman, who listens to the show, and some of his friends came in. Sean Anderson, who's recovering right now from a procedure, he came up from Tennessee. And we had people that had already like talked through the podcast and the Bourbon and BS community page and knew of Tinder Box and all of this stuff that weren't even from the area. They came and they were like meeting each other for the first time in person. It was
Philly's a hell of a drive.
It was a hell of
6
a
hours.
It was an interesting year when we came back from that. That would probably be my favorite. One of my favorite memories was, other than the fact that because of all that, I drank way too much on that Friday night, and so that 10 event, the first one back, was rough for me. It was a long day. It was longer than normal.
I think one of my favorite 10 events was actually 2019.
Why is that?
I started working for Tinder Box at Easton in August of 18. So the Smoking 10 event 2019 was my first Smoking 10 event as a staff member.
Okay.
And everyone in the staff, current staff, former staff, everyone wants to be in the tent. But if you ask every single staff member, hey, what do you want to do? Every single one of us wants to be able to just walk around, talk to customers, hang out with reps. Unfortunately, there's shit to do.
That's my job.
Yeah. So so everyone has their roles and responsibilities. So I'd only been at Tinder Box for 6 months. I'd been in the industry for almost several years before that, but I'd only been at Tinder Box for 6 months at that point. Yeah. And the owner, he's like, Nate, you're going to be in the store because the store is still open while all this is going on. Like it's still a normal business day. And he goes, Nate, you're going to be in the store with Diego, who Diego hasn't worked there in years, but he still knows his cigars. He doesn't necessarily know where stuff's at or, the POS. But he's like, you're going to be in the store with Diego. You're just going to take care of all that while we do the event. And so I was sitting there going, well, shit, I've only been here for 6 months. And the owner of this business is trusting me to be able to just run the store during the, craziest day of the year. Cool. All right. Yep. I'll take that as a vote of confidence.
Don't mess up.
Yeah.
We're all counting on you.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously the 10 event is the reason why most people are there, but you still get walk-ins coming off the street. People just, at the mall doing their shopping and everything. Like, you're still going to have just regular day-to-day customers coming into the store. Not everybody that, is in Columbus is going to come to that 10 event. So, to
they
have
should.
that.
They should.
Yes, they should. They can't because we limit it to 250. But no, I mean, just the Brian having that much confidence and trust in me to be able to take care of that and run that aspect of the business, while you and he are doing everything else for the biggest event you guys do in the year. Like, to me, that was the best part of that.
No, I like that. That's awesome. Yeah, Brian's I'd say baby, other than the whole event, is the sales table.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get him away from that. He wants to be there, answering any questions, educating, obviously, the customers, what some of the better deals are. This year, I know several of you are going to be doing kind of, if you buy 2 of your packs, you can come to your guys' table And either we have some people that are doing like raffle prizes, an extra cigar. They're doing like their raffle prizes, like their own raffle.
Right.
Tyler, I know you are going to, and he's not even there.
He's got the arm.
It's only Tyler.
Just do it on 5G, man. I'm pretty sure it'd be fine.
That's what I'm on right now.
I mean, unlimited data is like norm.
That's common, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Even if you don't have unlimited, I have like 6 gigs a month. I've never come close to using
I think
6
it'll be fine.
gigs.
It'll be fine. But anyways, he's got a raffle, like a one of those big knuckle sandwich ashtrays. So if you buy two of the packs of these event cigars, you can go to his table, show him, and then you get a raffle ticket to win for just that. So it'll be like an individual raffle. I know you are going to be talked about today, right?
Yeah.
What's that?
I think the ashtray that we have is going to be kind of the same idea for that specifically, because it is a really, really nice ashtray. It's hefty in size. It's really well made. It's not, just some kind of plastic rinky-dink sort of thing. So it's kind of like our grand prize.
Where did this whole thing, because I thought it started last year or maybe 2 years ago. Like, who was the first table that sat there and go, hey, if you get 2 of mine, I'm going to throw in something else?
Maybe Crowned Heads.
Okay. I was wondering where that all started.
So we also had Asylum with Nook and Tom last year. If you bought theirs, you would get, I think, one of the hats that they made. They've got a killer humidor that's going to be, if you buy 2 of theirs, you're going to have a raffle ticket for that as well. So we got some crazy good raffle prizes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Jeremy,
I'd always thrown in like an extra cigar if you bought a bag.
Yeah.
And then it was funny in the conversation this year with Brian, like it came up about like, we were talking about stuff. And I was like, what if I could throw in this or whatever? And he was like, oh, that'd be awesome if you do that. And that's good that I know that you're doing it. And I was like, I've kind of always done something like that. But yeah, there's going to be an incentive on 2 bags for us as well.
I think it works out really well. And the reason he said that, Ryan, is because I think when he's up to his neck at the sales table, and he had the attendees going like, so like, which one do I need to buy 2 of so I can go get this? And Brian's like, I don't know. What do you? Whoever told you that? And they're like, oh, I'm not sure which table it was that told me this. And so he's like, well, go find out and come back. Because we didn't know all, like, I don't think he knew all that stuff, it's fine because it's fun.
That's exactly what it was. He said he was getting too many inquiries at the table and he didn't know who to direct them to. So that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. I think
that's another one of those many adapting on the fly moments of the 10 event.
Back in the day, I think it all started with, if you buy a pack from a certain company, you get something, was Espinosa. And this is well before Tyler was with the company. You're going back to when he would, 2 years in a row, I think, he made a shirt that was exclusive to the 10 event. He made 50 of them.
Oh, I wish I had some of those shirts.
The first one was he made a red shirt with gray, and it said La Zona, State of Mind. But the La Zona, I think it was the O in Zona.
Yep, the block O.
Was a big block O. And like copyright infringement.
Yeah.
Luckily, he only did 50 of them, and he's like, I don't know, I didn't know. It's like, Eric, you can get in trouble for that. I think from OSU or the NCAA there.
Luckily,
the next year, that was the really cold one, and then the very next year, he made another shirt. Ended up being a warm year, but he made another one that was gray with red, and it says, "I froze my Buckeyes off at the Smoking Ten event." And those packs went really quickly, as you can imagine.
I'm jealous I don't have any of those shirts.
I was going back many years.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy, you've been a rep now for how long?
2 years in May.
Okay. How many multi-vendor events have you done other than the Smoking Ten event?
10.
10. Are they all similar? I mean, I'm not looking for like praise here on the Smoking Ten event, but I mean, like, there's a lot of different types of events in this industry that I think a lot of the listeners have been to. But I mean, we get a lot of compliments from the industry, from customers that runs well, but it's like, is there anything that, people could look for, or we could improve on for, that you've seen out there?
Well, I'll say that two of the events that I do have contacted you guys to find out what's the best system. So they've learned from you. So
Nice.
you kind of have been the, the champion leading the cause. So
the benchmark.
Yeah.
For smaller shops, I mean, it's not easy to do, right? I mean, obviously, like Smoke Inn down in Florida, they do a big one.
Yeah, massive.
Rocky Mountain, I think, is a collaboration event. I mean, and
the
you got the Big Smoke,
right? That's
used
a
to
big
be
one.
Cigar Fest. Yeah. So I mean, that's great to hear, though, because we heard that from a lot of different reps, that you guys will hear from people be like, yeah, we want to do this type of event. And they're like, when do you want to do it? And they're like, oh, in 2 months. And they're like, absolutely not. And like, I think I know Fat Ash is one of the ones that did come to the event. I think they're doing their 5th annual. Is that right?
Is it their 5th? It might be.
Yeah, I think it's their 5th.
It'll be my 2nd one with them. I know Discount Smokes, he's reached out to you guys originally. So
no, it's flattering and it's great to hear. It's great to hear. Ryan, how about you?
So on average, I mean, I probably do 8 multi-vendor events a year in the territories. Not to mention any of the ones that I do outside. I've done the Cigar Fest when it actually was Cigar Fest. I've done several of the big smokes. What's that?
I saw you there, actually. That was the first year you were a rep for Alec Bradley.
That is part of our Bill and Orton story. Yeah.
You encouraged me again after a night of drinking at the cabin.
Seems to be a common theme.
It's not. Yeah, it is.
Cheers.
It's not an uncommon theme.
So, side story there, a fun one. Funny to look back at. We driven there. We drove through Pittsburgh, hung out there for a night, hit a couple cigar shops, and then we went to the Poconos, rented a cabin, hung out all night, obviously drinking the night before. And that event's so large that you have 3,000 people, I think, a day, but in 1,000 ticket like increments. And we were in the 2nd increment of people going into the tent, and they kind of try to do crowd control like that. So hungover, I just want water. We're standing in line. The sun's already out. We're already smoking cigars, obviously, because it's a cigar trip or whatever. And all I wanted was water. And we're standing out in this line for like an hour. And I see people like in the food area, and they got bottles of water. And I'm just like, I just want a bottle of water. And they're like, that's for like, you can't go in there until you go into the event. I'm like, oh, awesome. Okay. So I'm just standing there, just parched, and I just need water. So we go in, first thing, I'm just looking for a bottle of water, and I get a bottle of water. We see a couple different booths, and within the first probably 10, 15 minutes, I see Ryan, and he's like, oh, have you met Alan Rubin? I was like, no, I haven't. He's like, you got to meet Alan Rubin. Hey, did you see our vodka luge? And I'm like, I see it. And then I think either you or Alan Rubin were like, do you want to do it? And I'm like, not going to say no. First time I met Alan Rubin, the owner of Alec Bradley at the time. And so I'm like, yeah, sure. And so like immediately I get a big shot of vodka going down the luge.
It's the same.
I mean, by proof physics, there was water in that shot from going down the luge.
Not a whole lot of melting, but yeah.
The micrograms of melted
I wouldn't
water.
say it watered down the shot. But go ahead. I'm sorry. That was my.
Yeah, I mean, so I've done, like I said, Cigar Fest multiple times. I've done several big smokes, and very much backing up what Jeremy said. I remember the first year Fat Ash did theirs, and I got there, and I'm like, here's some recommendations on stuff you should do. And I remember Dwight being like, well, like, where do you get this from? And I'm like, Tinder Box Easton, like, they're kind of the gold standard on how this all gets done.
Damn.
So, and it's not one of those things of like tooting your horn or anything like this, but like, I know I've been on record. I say it to consumers, to other reps, to retailers, to people I've been bosses for, going back to a little bit of what Nate said earlier, one of the most impressive things is not just how you guys have really got that down to like a well-oiled machine. It is the fact that I have seen things pop up the day of, and you guys have adapted to it. You guys have changed formats, and you guys have done it without anybody blinking. You know, you guys have changed. You know, you guys have added things to it. You know, you added the Q&A. You added. You know, you went to doing the two meals and things like that, and like everything just feels like you guys are always doing it. And like, it's not one of those things where I'm out there again trying to puff your chest up, but I know a ton of hard work goes into it. I've organized events like that before, you know, and I just think that when you got a group of people that care, and you guys clearly do, whether they're employees or people that have a relationship to the shop, there's an extra level of attention to detail that goes into making sure somebody enjoys themselves when they go out, because these events aren't necessarily cheap to attend. They're a great value, but they're not necessarily cheap to attend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so when you have people putting that money up and they're like, what do I get? It's like, you get a fucking awesome experience drinking and smoking your face off all day. And it's entertaining, and you have camaraderie. Like, it, you know, it's a great experience. So
and
I really tip my hat to you guys on that for sure.
Thank you. You know, that kind of speaks to one of the other changes that happened fairly recently with this 10 event. It used to be you had general admission and VIP. VIP paid a higher price. They got in earlier. They could pick their seats. They may have gotten extra cigars. They were the ones that got brunch, and then everyone got lunch, you know, those kind of things. And then eventually it transformed into, you know what, we're just going to do one ticket price. Same treatment, one ticket price, and it's more set to the VIP. Everyone gets 2 meals. Everyone gets the same cigars, because VIP would always sell out before general admission, because everyone, you know, there were a lot of people that wanted that extra incentive, you know, whether it was extra cigars or an extra meal. There were some people that literally bought VIP tickets, even though they were $70 more than general admission, just so they could get their seats first.
Yeah.
And, you know, pick out where they wanted to be in the tent. And, you know, now it's like, no, we're going to do everything VIP. Everybody gets the same exact treatment. You know, you come in whenever you want. But, yeah, we still get a line. We still get a line of people an hour before the event even opens. You know, because there are so many people that want to come in and, like, get their spot. It's like, dude, we have enough room for everybody. But, you know, they're so anxious for it. They want that
enjoy
exact
it. Most
spot.
of them are smoking. Obviously, again, this year you're going to get a welcome beer. So, you know, while standing in line, you know, a lot of people bring a cigar to smoke in line, which is always fun.
Just the pros.
Just the pros, they bring it.
Well, and that's one of the tough things is being inside the store when we're trying to get the event. You know, we're getting, because all the cigars are already at the Tinder Box by the time that event starts. We got to get all those cigars from the humidor out to the sales table. And so we're all getting stuff out there. We're finishing getting all the final preps for the event, but then we're also getting ready to open the store for the day. So it's like, all right, we can let the reps in. We got to help do all this, but we also got to make sure customers aren't trying to come in the shop, because we're not open and we're too fucking busy for that.
Well, that's one nice thing about for the store part of it being on a Sunday. Obviously, the store's open from 11 to 6.
Yeah.
And the event opens at 10:30. When we do it on a Saturday, the store opens at 10. The event starts at 10:30. The store closes at 9. The event's over at 6. It's kind of a whole different dynamic there.
Go home. No.
No. Stay, drink.
No. I mean, because we've had some of those where I think one of those, you know, last times we did on a Saturday, like we had 30, 40 people inside the shop before the event even started. It's like, guys, like we're still trying to run business here. Like, go get in line, get ready to get your seats, get ready for the event. Like, don't just hang out. Like, it's cool. You guys are regulars. Like get out of here. Go. because we still, because there's still people that
Well, go
have
enjoy
nothing.
yourself, Nate.
Exactly.
You got to follow it up with, oh, here's just go. Oh, Fido's open. You can go grab some breakfast, like
There
something
you
like
go.
that. Like steer clear of just saying, get out of here, scram.
Well, that,
Go on, get it.
well, that's kind of how I was 2 years ago when it was really cold. It's like, guys, you paid for the tent. Go to the tent. Quit coming in the shop to try and warm up. Like, no, go out there because we still have people coming in doing day-to-day business here.
Well, I hope for better weather. Obviously, last year was fine. This year looks like we have potential to be fine.
I mean, because smoking 10 event year 2. That was
Nate's been selling
2000.
this, isn't he?
That was 2014. That one was when it was like 20 degrees and it was heavy wind. I mean,
28.
It was
upper 20s.
But with that wind and everything, it was freaking freezing that year.
Yeah, they didn't put the tent together all that well that year either. I got to be honest. There were a lot of gaps.
Yeah.
That wind found every gap.
Yeah, that was my one event as a rep.
Yeah. Well, that was not a great year for you either.
I'm about to show
No,
this
I didn't bring it up.
I'm bringing my trainers.
It's fine. Bringing trainers. Guys, for everyone out there, what's one thing from your company that everyone can look forward to?
In general or at the 10?
At the 10 event, let's stick with that there. Yeah, if you want to say something about the company as well for 2025. But at the 10 event, for those that, say someone's listening to this, they're on the fence. I don't know. These guys haven't really sold me on it. It sounds like, I might go. But, yeah, Tyler, go ahead. Like from the Espinosa cigar aspect of the event, what's something that would push someone over the edge to come to the 10 event?
Well, first off, we have some.
Man, I tell you what. Hang on. Start over. You're cutting out. Go ahead.
I good?
I like what he has
Yeah.
to
Nate?
say.
I feel like, are you fucking with us? Like you
Oh, that'll fix it. Just flip it.
All right, how about this?
That's better.
This works? Okay, it must have been the bounce.
Somehow that worked.
How does that work?
Now you're frozen.
No, you froze.
I think he's fucking with us at this point.
Next.
no, he's froze.
Jeremy.
So definitely the cigar that we're gonna have there. We've released the black, blue, and red, and can't talk much about the cigar at the table, but it'll be very good. So, and then so it's worth coming out to try that cigar.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is going to be something that in the future they can get their hands on, correct?
That is correct.
I'm not giving away anything there. I mean, it's just we're keeping it vague. Keeping it vague. Ryan. See you, Tyler.
So this is going to be a really unique year for me at the Smoking 10 event because, even though for those of you out there that don't understand necessarily the dynamic or have never heard that before. So I work for Forge Cigar Company, which is part of Scandinavian Tobacco Group, which in premium cigars, we have 2 sales teams. We have General Cigars and we have Forge Cigars. So this might be a record. We're going to have 5 employees of STG in this tent. On the General side, you're going to have Michael Sarbaugh. You're going to have Carolee Martin, both awesome sales reps, great personalities, very entertaining for sure. And then over on the Forge side, you're going to have me and Bradley Rubin. And then we'll have Justin Andrews, which he's kind of going to be flying the Forge flag, but I mean, he does a lot with the company all around. There are cigars that he makes over on the General side. And I think just if there's anything that you want to know about both of these sales teams, all the lineups, this is going to be information overload. If you're a tobacco dork or you just like tobacco history or anything like that, if we can't come up with an answer to a question, I'm going to basically look like a fucking ferret. But it's going to be really cool to have that many people at the 10 event and also bring you a bunch of different cigars to try. And I'm looking forward to that. I think that's going to be a very unique take. Like I said, I think it's the first for the Smoking 10 event, and probably most events that I've done outside of something like a Big Smoke or something to have that many from one company there. So I think that's going to be a really unique thing that people are going to have access to.
I agree. Tyler, while we have you.
Maybe.
Are you serious?
You don't.
You said his name.
Canal?
I feel like there's one of those
Yeah.
I don't hope you don't freeze.
Break in with
Well,
safe, and they keep
not on the
replacing the camera with like a photo of the thing that the camera's looking at, just so everybody like he's just doing this so we think he's here. He's off doing something else right now all the time.
Like one of those heist movies where they replace the camera feed,
Or it's like the guys that are like at the Philly, Super Bowl, and he had like the background attached while he was on his work meeting.
Yeah.
Green screen.
Absolutely.
No, for us, Fabian Ziegler's going to be there. A lot of you that are fans of Drew Estate products of many varieties. He was with them for 20 some odd years and has a lot of stories, kind of the inventor, so to speak, of the Sweet Jane. And a lot of people obviously really enjoy those cigars. So if you want to talk to someone about a lot of interesting things of someone who's been around for a long time, he's got plenty of them. He's a very excitable individual.
High energy.
Yeah, very, very, very engaging individual. So he'll be there. So a lot of insight that you can gather with that. And then cigar wise, I think we've got some killer things that are going to be there. The cigar that we're handing out is the Signature Maduro, which is a Nicaraguan Puro. It's got a Corojo Maduro wrapper leaf that we grow, so it's pretty unique in that regard. It's got some Medio Tiempo in there, so it's going to be a really, really good cigar from us in that. And then the packs that we have, the deals, the value on that is going to be exceptionally high. So your money will take you very far, within our product availability that we have there.
In that pack in the tent, we're going to have an event-only cigar also.
Correct,
from Aganorsa leaf. It's available at other events, right? But event only, and it is rolled here in Miami.
Yes and no. So technically, for all Aganorsa events that set it up this way, we offer it as an option where you can acquire these event-only cigars. Our event-only cigar is not the same thing for each event. So they're made in a small batch and a small run. It's always a different size and blend. And our level 9 roller, Elizabeth, that's down there in Miami, she kind of gets carte blanche to just pick and make whatever she wants to do. She's obviously an incredible craftsman or craftswoman. They're always made exceptionally well, and they're always a very unique blend. And they are made by her solo operation in Miami. And so it's something that, like any cigar made in Miami, if you packaged it and sold it, it's probably, $15 to $20 plus, depending on the size and the components. So you're going to get something that you can really only get at the 10 event by way of, getting the packs that's going to be included in there. It's not something that we have for sale, normally in like a box or a bundle or anything like that either.
Nice. Oh, there's someone driving in a car.
I'll go ahead and answer for Espinosa, by the way.
Yeah, go ahead. Ryan from Forged and STG and Espinosa, go ahead.
Yeah, so if you're on the fence about buying a ticket and you want to know what Espinosa Cigars has to offer, Tyler will be there, and he actually will finish all of his sentences. Without freezing or disappearing or anything like that.
You cannot guarantee
that is something great to look for.
Can't guarantee.
That is
maybe the
true.
first couple hours.
Hey, Tyler, tell me about this blend.
There's tobacco in it.
Just kidding. He's very knowledgeable about the portfolio. Very knowledgeable.
Very knowledgeable. Very
and Eric Espinosa will be there as well, which I will say
tonight, but yeah.
Always a fan favorite is Eric Espinosa. Not to take away from any of the reps, any of the guests, but he's been with us at the event since year 2.
Yeah, I mean, I like being there and interacting, but I'm no Eric Espinosa.
Yeah, he's in a league of his own, so he's a lot of fun. Nate, do you have anything? Put people over the edge if they're on the fence on buying a ticket.
So, whenever we do this event, whenever we have some of the names of the industry, whether it be Rocky Patel, Christian Aroa, Bradley Rubin, Eric Espinosa, whoever, anytime we have some of these bigwigs, the one thing we always hear from them is they are amazed at how smooth this event goes on. Because, if you just look at it on paper, you got a tent, 250 people, dozen vendors, 2 meals, raffle, all this other stuff going on. Like it on paper, it looks like an absolute shit show. Yet the amount of work that Brian, Steve, the rest of the staff at Tinderbox put into getting this event put on, the staff at Fido, to be able to do their part for the event. There are so many people that come in to this event year after year, or maybe it's even their first time. And they're like, I've gone to other events or other multi-vendor events, and they don't run anywhere nearly as smooth as this one does. I think that says a lot about, the people that actually do the work to put this on. Also, I remember we had a customer a couple years ago. It was going to be their very first tent event. And the night before, they were actually nervous about going to the event. They were looking for any excuse possible to not go to the event because they weren't sure if they were going to be accepted or if they were going to find anyone to hang out with. So they were very nervous because even though they'd come into the Tinderbox, they didn't necessarily hang out at the Tinderbox.
Yeah.
They didn't know a lot of the people. So they were very nervous about that. And that person showed up and said, like, actually, you have no idea what I'm doing. I'm actually nervous because I don't know most of these people. And you had a whole table of guys that are like, no, come on over. You can hang with us. Like, you can hang with us. You can smoke with us. Like, no, you're good. Like, and that person was like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing I've ever done. And, what also made it for that person was being able to meet some of the faces of the industry, like Eric or Christian or Tom Lazuka, some of the other people that have been there, or some of the people that are going to be there this year. Yeah. And they're like, oh, I'm so glad I didn't fake being sick and actually showed up to the event. Because that's what that person was going to do. They were going to fake being sick and not even show up. And, we still would have given them the cigars and we would have had a bag ready for them. But no, the way the staff, the way the other patrons, treat one another, like, and the way it, as smooth as the event goes for having a dozen different vendors there, it's hard to beat anywhere. And to be able to pull it off with a staff of 7, like, that's impressive.
And volunteers. Tyler, welcome. Are you in your car or someone else's?
Yeah, I'm in my car. This hopefully has
Well,
a little bit better connection. Probably won't.
Ryan already answered for you.
It's a Ford, so it probably doesn't.
Ooh, got him.
Ryan already answered for you, but if you got something.
Now that he's back,
what is the question?
Make sure we
what
had
is the
enough
question? There's been so much in and out. I have no idea what the question even is.
Yeah, we're aware. All right, Kunal's out of here.
I am out of here. I got a couple hours still to head up northeast. So great seeing everybody as usual. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a great time. You're going to get a lot of awesome cigars, meet a lot of awesome people. It's run exceptionally well. Don't worry about the weather. It'll be fine.
See you in 11 days, Kunal.
Don't worry about the weather.
It'll be fine. Cheers, everybody.
Even when the weather sucks, everything else is still that awesome. So,
yes.
That's right, Ryan.
Anyway, thank you. Tyler, you got anything? The question was, if someone's on the fence about coming to the event from the Espinosa angle, what would put them over the edge and make sure that they wanted to not miss this event?
Well, first of all, like I was saying earlier, when I first tried to answer this question,
we didn't hear you.
We go. Eric Espinosa is going to be there, of course. He's not going to be out and about too much this year and stuff like that. So if you get a chance to come see him, you should come see him. And we got some really cool raffle prizes we got going. A couple super limited edition ashtrays that we've made in the last year. One of them around Knuckle Sandwich, the other one around the Warhead brand. So some super special stuff that we're going to be raffling off there. And hopefully, you guys come out here, grab some great cigars, some great food, great camaraderie, and see some awesome people in this industry. Some of those
Right.
guys at General and Forge are some of my favorite people in this business. So it's going to be fun seeing those guys on my end of the spectrum, let alone everybody else's.
So I will speak on what Tyler actually just said. And it's funny because this whole time I was going to say it, and then Tyler actually showed up and was able to complete the sentence. So that was great. But
beautiful.
One of the things that I will say that's really cool about this event is the fact that we talk about the camaraderie that you get going in the tent with the other patrons. But one thing is, and I think at this point I've been at this event one way or the other, I think for 10 or 11 years at this point, which is wild to think about actually. But the relationship that the cigar guys have there, the reps, the principals that come out, more often than not, just about everybody in that tent has a relationship with each other, and that lends to some really cool stuff in there too. You get to hear different perspectives, and like last year, one of the more interesting things that happened, I can't remember who kind of started or got that ball rolling. I think it might have been Miguel from Crown Heads. We were doing the Q&A section with the people up on stage, and I think Miguel from Crown Heads at one point got the microphone off of Steve and was asking.
I gave it to him.
Guys like Ricky Rodriguez and Rocky Patel and Tom Lazuka. You have a long-term industry guy asking long-term industry guys questions, and then like I looked and I was like, why have I never thought of this? And I'm like, I remember signaling to Steve, and Steve's like looking at me like, what the fuck are you gonna say? Like, and I'm like, no, seriously, I have a question. Like, and he was like, all right, like, and like it was kind of fun because like then all of a sudden you have reps asking these guys questions, and it's like, this product, this industry, there's so much information to it. I've done this for 11 years, and that seems like a lot, but like in the realm of how much information is out there, this could go forever. And having these guys there and hearing their opinions on cigars that other people have in the tent and things like that, like it's really cool in that regard that there's a lot of camaraderie to it. Tyler, I've known for just about as long as he's been in the business at this point, from being a consumer to being a rep.
Or about as long as he's lasted on this show.
As long as he's lasted on the show. Jeremy's a guy that I started bumping into on the road, and this is now going to be our second 10 event. And you're just getting that camaraderie with people, and you're learning people, and I just think that's really cool. The relationships you have in the tent between the cigar guys, and I think that shows. Everybody's comfortable at that event, and I think that's when you get the best results. Whether it's talking about stuff, answering questions, whatever.
No, that's great.
The camaraderie, I think, is one of the best things about the event. Is when you have a dozen reps there, each representing their own brand, they all get along. They're all having a great time. I think in the past, companies that have, ruined it for themselves are the ones that are like, no, it should all be about us, or we're the best thing going. Those are the ones that don't get to come back. And, those are the ones that don't see the benefit from the event.
I'll say this, and kind of my from the Tinder Box side of it, from the event side of it is, Ryan, I think you hit a lot of that perfectly, because one of the things that we have tried to make this event for the size of, for the scale of it, right? 200-ish people. It's a smaller shop. We blow away, obviously, numbers for the footprint of our shop, and we're not even a mail order or online type of thing. But in the 10:30 to 6 o'clock hour there, we try to do the best, I guess, hits of any multi-vendor event that I've ever been to, I've heard about, is that you're getting fed, but instead of just, and there's nothing wrong with it for the mass quantity of people that some of these events have, but it's not just hamburgers, hot dogs, and basic stuff. With the collaboration with Fido Irish Pub and Restaurant next door to us, that they put up the tent, we couldn't do it without them. but then they blow away most, if not all, events from what I understand in this industry, and also just trade shows, multi-vendor trade shows in a lot of industries. You're getting a nice basic brunch, but on top of that, you're getting things like, Nate, you brought up lamb lollipops, you're getting crab cakes, you're getting chili, you're getting a killer buffet, all included in the price. You're getting, not only do you just go around, I've been to, mentioned like Cigar Fest, great event, but it was basically a trick or treat. You hold your bag out, they throw a cigar in there, and I swear to God, people looked at me sideways from the tables when I said thank you. They're like, "Oh yeah, you're welcome," because no one fucking even says thank you at those. You go around. Let me finish. You go around, and then on top of that, you're there for the entire day. So now you can go back and talk to Ryan Ponist. You can talk to Bradley Rubin. You can talk to Eric Espinosa. You can talk to Amy McAuliffe. You can talk to all of these people because they're there the whole time. It's not that some of these events that I've been to and seen is that you just go, you try to say hi, maybe take a picture, but no, you can actually go back up and talk to these people. They're there for the entire event, and you get to know them. I mean, I've had people with Tyler, you and Eric Espinosa, people that have been to these events, they kind of will then reach out. Hey, they're in Florida. Eric doesn't need to do this, but I know of a couple of our customers that they've been in the area and they hit him up on social media, or Eric has given the phone number, and then they went and kind of toured your warehouse, and they got to go in there, smoke some cigars. And it's like, for me and a lot of people in this industry, from the customer or the retailer side, it's like it's your heroes, it's your rock stars. You get to go elbow to elbow with these people, and then on top of that, you get the Q&A portion, which I've been to events, and you kind of, that's off in a corner somewhere. They've got like a Q&A session for a small group of people. This is for everyone. So not only are you getting the cigar handouts, you're not only getting fed with some high-end food, you're not only getting to hear on the stage from a Q&A session, and on top of that, you add in the killer sales table where you're getting 4 and 5 packs of cigars for an aggressive price, with stuff that are either being handed out or just other stuff in general. And then we round it out with a raffle with over 100 prizes that almost, at least half of the people typically win prizes. And they're not just, here's a free cigar. It's like, here's a killer ashtray, here's a humidor, we've given away smokers, we've given away all sorts of different things. Gave away stand-up heaters. What's that?
A year of cigars. I remember that was
year of cigars.
Like 6 or 7.
We're not doing it this year. We also they gave away, when Nish and Eric they basically collaborated, and they gave away a trip to Honduras one year, just because that's the way the event was going. But I mean, you never know what you're going to get. But I will say that it's just, we try to do every highlight of the other events all in one day. And when you guys are saying how smoothly it's ran, it's great to hear. But I feel as though a lot of that has to do with the attendees as the event has grown. If you don't have a good time and all you want to do is smoke cigars, grab your cigars and go, you're going to get the value. But I definitely encourage everyone to get there in the beginning and stay all the way through the raffle and just enjoy the day, enjoy every step of it, and just it's like a show. And if you guys are on the fence about it and you're looking to just see everything that these guys have said and learn from some of the greats in the industry and talk to the guys that are on the road, that smoke these cigars every day, and don't be surprised sometimes when you see some of the guys on the screen and other reps and even some of the owners, they're smoking other brands of cigars because someone gave them a cigar and they're lighting it up, because that's what it is. It's the camaraderie, it's the community. So, I mean, I love the event, and it's great to hear from you guys saying that stuff, and I hear it from customers a lot. But I think the biggest thing for me is the summary of that is that we try to jam-pack that day so full of an agenda that there's always something coming up as you're hanging out, enjoying cigars, enjoying drinks, and talking to people you're sitting with, talking to people at the tables that are handing out cigars, the reps, some of the owners, and just be open to have a great time.
Yeah, I think one of the most telling things that I've witnessed with the 10 event was fairly recently. There was another shop in another part of the country that decided, hey, we're going to do our big event, and it happened to coincide same day as Smoke 10 event. And we were sitting there watching a video days later of that event, and we're looking at the energy of the people in line for that event, and we're like, and then we're looking at what happened with ours. We're like, why would anyone go to that instead? Like no one there seems excited. They're literally just in line like a bunch of drones, just going through with the bag open.
Well, and again, staying on the positive, I think, it is what you make of it. And I think that all of these guys that, and Kunal who left and everyone else that's involved in it from the industry side, I mean, you guys really do a lot of the hard work. Ryan, Tyler, Jeremy, you compliment our shop. But again, we can't do it without you guys. If you guys show up and are those types of, I guess, trade show reps, regardless of the industry, and you don't bring the energy, it's not going to be fun. But you guys, it's everyone that's involved. So it's customers, it's you guys, it's the staff. And I just absolutely love it. I'm excited about it. And I hope you guys are too. And for those listening now, and you listen to this, I am going to post this. It's on YouTube, but hopefully be able to post some clips from the show. But I appreciate you guys taking the time. I know you guys are all traveling. You're very busy. And I appreciate that. Kunal was on his way to Cleveland, but he made an extra stop here and hung out in the garage for a little bit. So you guys, I appreciate all your time. I appreciate everyone listening. And for those that are podcast listeners, we will be back with a more regular schedule going forward post-event. Might have another one of these types of roundtable type of talks about the event with some other reps next week. We'll see who's available. But guys, I appreciate it. Anything else you guys have for the listeners?
I forget that this is an actual podcast.
This is a little different.
And maybe we should have did a better job explaining what was going on with Tyler. Because I guess if you're just listening to this, it sounds insane. But yeah, for audio listeners, love you to death. Yeah, Tyler, he was on a Waffle House Wi-Fi 3 blocks away. I don't understand what we're talking about.
Don't start knocking Waffle House.
No, Waffle House is great. Wi-Fi, not so much. But he was. A lot of times he was present and not present, and sometimes both at the same time. He was like,
I don't think he's present right now.
Video property. I don't think
he frozen.
No, he's not present.
He's frozen again.
Jesus, this guy.
I'm in. You can.
Hey, I'm excited about the event. So thank you, Steve, for pulling us in.
Absolutely. And we'll have to maybe start a GoFundMe page for a better cell phone for Tyler.
Tyler's like a blizzard right now. You could hold it upside down. He still ain't moving.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you should have left the headphones on, honestly.
Clearly, that was the issue.
But yeah, hopefully, I look forward to seeing you guys, whether, you guys on screen and Tyler, who is not anymore, and everybody else.
11 days.
Yeah. Look forward to seeing you guys. It's going to be a great event, as always.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. And guys, tune in to the Bourbon and BS community page, Bourbon and BS podcast at Instagram. We'll keep updating you on any shows coming up. And then obviously Tinder Box at Easton. We'll get Tyler on for a goodbye, maybe. That's his screen right now.
Yeah, it's better than nothing, I guess. Jesus.
No, we can hear you at least.
Perfect.
What are you in the trunk? Like, what is going on?
Satellite phone? What's going on?
Just a black
Bro,
screen.
this is how much I care about you guys, that I've kept fucking with my phone this whole time, in and out, in and out. I did get lazy. I wasn't putting Tyler Jones anymore on my.
Yeah, we
thing.
noticed.
I just started putting a T because I got tired of it. But,
I'll talk to Eric and see if we can up your cell plan on the company phone.
I have no idea why my screen is black right now.
I know you're a big Ryan Reynolds fan, but I mean, Mint Mobile is just not as good as some of the main ones. All right.
It's really
that's a good point. This is insane.
All right, boys. Thank you very much.
Right.
Cheers. Happy Whiskey Wednesday. We'll see you guys all at the 10 event.
See you guys next week.
March
Thank you,
16th.
See you there.
Got
March
to
16th.
tickets.
Get your ticket.